Hello students, welcome once again to the chapter Acids, Bases and Salts Part 2. In the previous one, we have already discussed the properties of the acids and the bases and how to identify them with the help of the indicators. Now this part consists of the chemical properties of the acids and the bases. First of all, this is an overview of the chemical properties. First one is the acids reacts with the metals. Second one, the acids react with the metal carbonates. The reaction of the acids and the alkali, and finally the acids react with the metal oxide. Now we will study all these properties one by one. So now let's see first of all the first reaction of the acids with the metal. So here it is. How do the acids react with metals? You have already studied in the previous classes. When the acids react with the metal, they release hydrogen gas. But now the condition is that the metals are the active metals. What are the active metals? These are the metals which are placed above hydrogen in the metal activity series. Hope you all remember the metal activity series. That means the metals like zinc, magnesium, sodium, calcium, iron, which are placed above hydrogen, they are only responsible, or they can only displace the hydrogen gas from the acids. That's why they are termed as the more active metals. Now let's see how do they react with the acids. Here first example is of zinc. Zinc reacts with sulfuric acid H2SO4 to form zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas is released. In this reaction you can see a box has been placed over here. This box encloses and shows the formation of a salt. So the metal combines with the anionic part of the acid and hydrogen gas is liberated from the acid. But since copper is present below hydrogen, so if it is treated with the hydrochloric acid or the sulfuric acid, it will not be able to displace hydrogen from the acid. That's why there will be no reaction. So remember students, whenever the question comes, what happens when? So please remember the position of the respective metal with respect to hydrogen. If it is present above hydrogen, only then the reaction will occur. Otherwise, there will be no reaction. So similar to copper, silver and gold are also not able to react with the acids, and hence there will be no liberation of the hydrogen gas. Metal carbonates and bicarbonates react with acids, but how? Bicarbonates or hydrogen carbonates are the same. So metal carbonate or the bicarbonate react with the acids to release salt, water and carbon dioxide. For example, hydrochloric acid HCl reacts with the sodium carbonate Na2CO3. Again you can see the box enclosing the cationic part from the metal carbonate and the anionic part from the acid to form a salt, while hydrogen and carbonate combine together to form carbonic acid, which dissociate into water or carbon dioxide. So the ultimately final products are the salt, water and the carbon dioxide gas. Similarly, here also hydrochloric acid combines with the sodium bicarbonate or sodium hydrogen carbonate to again form a salt sodium chloride, and water and carbon dioxide are the final products. So to generalize, we can say that the metal carbonates or the bicarbonates combine with the acid to form salt, water and carbon dioxide gas. Here the activity is shown to show this reaction between the acid and the sodium carbonate. In the test tube, sodium carbonate and dilute hydrochloric acid are present, which react together to form the carbon dioxide gas. This carbon dioxide gas is passed through calcium hydroxide solution. Why? Can you tell me? Okay, now proceed to the another. Here the bases react with metals in the same manner as the acids are reacting with the metals to form salt and hydrogen gas. Bases also react with the metals to form the salt and hydrogen gas. But the nature of the salt here is somewhat different. In this case, the salt which is present, which is formed, is somewhat complex. It is not simple as it was in the form in the case of the acid. So here sodium hydroxide is the base which is reacting with the metal like zinc to form a complex salt which is known as sodium zincate, Na2ZnO2, but the hydrogen gas is released. Here is the activity also. Here you can see that the blue flame is formed. This blue flame is due to the presence of the hydrogen gas. So, till now we have studied that two gases are formed when the acids are reacting with the metals or the metal carbonates. But the question is how to identify these two different gases. So, first we will learn how to identify the presence of the hydrogen gas. When you are performing the reaction, that means you are having the metal and the acid in the test tube. Cover the mouth of the test tube with the help of a thumb so that the hydrogen gas which is produced is not released into the atmosphere. It does not escape from the test tube. And take a burning matchstick or a candle near the mouth of the test tube. If the candle or the matchstick burns and with a pop sound, that means the hydrogen gas is present over there. The burning of the matchstick shows that the hydrogen gas is flammable in nature, and the pop sound is due to the explosion of the hydrogen gas. This hydrogen gas is a very good fuel. It has a very high calorific value. That's why it is used as a rocket fuel and also in the cells which are known as the fuel cells. Now let's see how to test the carbon dioxide gas. Here this is the reaction where we are testing the carbon dioxide gas. You can see over here that carbon dioxide gas is passed through the lime water. Lime water is actually the slaked lime, calcium hydroxide. Molecular formula is CaOH whole twice. So when we are passing carbon dioxide through the calcium hydroxide or the lime water, what happens? The lime water turns milky. This milkiness is due to the white precipitate of calcium carbonate. But if you pass the excess of the carbon dioxide through this calcium carbonate, what will happen? The milkiness will disappear. Again, because of the formation of a new substance which is calcium bicarbonate, and this calcium bicarbonate is soluble in water. That's why the milkiness from this lime water disappear. This actually happens when we are whitewashing our walls. In the whitewash also we are using the flake lime which combines with the carbon dioxide to form a shiny white precipitate of calcium carbonate. Another examples of the calcium carbonate are limestone, marble and chalk. So this happens when we want to test the carbon dioxide gas. So here was the test for the two gases, that was first one was hydrogen gas and the another one is carbon dioxide gas. Now some more properties. When we react the acids and bases together, acids and base react together to form a salt and water. So one base, a very common base, sodium hydroxide, combines with a very common acid, hydrochloric acid. So the cation from the base and the anion from the acid combine together to form the salt, and these two leftover ions form the molecule of water. Similarly, in the another one, calcium hydroxide is a base and sulfuric acid is an acid. So here also the same thing happens. Calcium, that is the cation, metal cation from the base, combined with the sulfate anion from the acid to form a salt, calcium sulfate, and hydrogen and hydroxide ions combine together to form the molecules of water. Such type of reactions in which the base and an acid react together to give a salt and water is called the neutralization reaction. Why they are called the neutralization reactions? Because they both are neutralizing the effect of each other. Acid is neutralizing the base while base is neutralizing the acid. That's why these reactions are called the neutralization reactions. One more thing, these reactions are the type of the double displacement reactions because the mutual exchange of the ions is taking place over here. So these are the examples of the double displacement reaction, or we can say that neutralization reactions are also the double displacement reactions. Now how to identify the neutralization reactions? We can use the indicator, and one such indicator is the phenolphthalein indicator. We have also studied previously. The phenolphthalein indicator is colorless in the acidic medium while it gives a pink color in the basic or the alkaline medium. So if we add one drop of this indicator in an acid, it will be colorless. But when we start adding the base into it, the end point will be reached and there will be a stage when a minute or a very small amount of base will exceed. Then the indicator will give the pink color. That means if the solution turns pink, it indicates that the end point has reached and now the neutralization has taken place. Or moreover, now we can say that now the final products, that is salt and water, are present in this solution. Some more reactions. Here, the reaction of the metallic oxides with the acids. Copper oxide is a metallic oxide, reacts with hydrochloric acid to form copper chloride and water. In this picture also you can see previously the solution is blue in color. That means copper oxide is blue in color, but when it combines with hydrochloric acid to form the copper chloride, the solution turns green. So that means the chemical change has taken place over here. Similarly, when we burn magnesium in the presence of oxygen, it forms magnesium oxide. So magnesium oxide is also a metallic oxide. When this metallic oxide combines with hydrochloric acid, it will form a salt, magnesium chloride, and water is formed. If we generalize these reactions, we get that metal oxide combines with acid to form salt and water, which is similar to the neutralization reactions. So it means, or it shows, that the metallic oxides are basic in nature, since they combine with the acid to form the product salt and water. That means the metallic oxides are basic in nature. Now let's see how the non-metallic oxides behave. Here it is, reaction of the non-metallic oxides with the bases. Non-metallic oxide, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, all these are the non-metallic oxides. So when they combine with the base, they again combine together to form the salt and water, sodium carbonate and water. And when calcium hydroxide combines with carbon dioxide, it also forms the calcium carbonate and water. So if we generalize both of these reactions, again we are getting the generalized equation as non-metal oxide plus base gives salt and water. This also shows that when the non-metallic oxides combined with the base form salt and water, it is also similar to the neutralization reaction. That means non-metallic oxides behave as an acid. When the acid combined with base, they form the salt and water. So here also we can generalize that non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. That means metallic oxides are basic in nature while the non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. In this picture also you can see when the sodium carbonate reacts with acid, it forms carbon dioxide, and this carbon dioxide reacts with the calcium hydroxide to form the salt and water. So this is just the extension of the previous equations. Here we can also identify the nature of the metallic and non-metallic oxides with the help of the litmus paper. Same thing, magnesium oxide, that means a metallic oxide. When dissolved in water, it forms magnesium hydroxide. So if we try to find out the nature of this solution, we can use a litmus paper. If we dip blue litmus paper into this solution, there will be no change. While when the red litmus paper is dipped into this solution, it changes into blue. So here again, since the change of the red litmus paper takes place to the blue color, it shows that the solution which has been obtained by mixing magnesium oxide with water is basic in nature. Similarly, when we are dissolving carbon dioxide with water, it is again forming a solution. We have one solution over here, and if we want to test the nature of this solution, we can again use the litmus paper. So, blue litmus paper turns to red while there will be no change in the red litmus paper. It again shows that the solution which is formed is acidic in nature since blue litmus changes to red. And again one more thing, remember that water is neutral, so it is not changing the nature of the oxides. Simply we can say that the metallic oxides are basic in nature while the non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. So in this presentation we have studied the chemical properties of the acids, जिसमें हमने पढ़ा कि how the acids react with metals, metal carbonates and bicarbonates, with the metal oxides and the alkalis or the bases. Similarly हमने पढ़ा chemical properties of bases, how they react with the metals and with the non-metallic oxides. On the basis of their reactions, we have also studied how to find out the nature of metallic and non-metallic oxides. In the reactions, some gases were produced, so we have also studied how to identify the gases like hydrogen gas and the carbon dioxide gas produced in the reaction. Thank you. Hope you like this video, this presentation. If you have liked it, please like it and subscribe it. Thank you. Thank you. And now in the next topic, we will discuss some more properties which are common to the acids and the bases.